Good morning. Norman Notes here. It is 6:30 in the morning. So we're just preparing the car because we're going to Arkaroola. Me and my wife have booked in for 3 nights at Arkaroola. So Arkaroola is in the upper Flinders ranges. So we're going to travel up. It's a few hours up. I think it's about an 8-hour drive. So we're going to go up there and have a look around up there. So I'm really looking forward to it. So come along. Bye for now. So this is the start of the Flinders, as you can see. So we're 65 kilometres approximately on the bitumen here to Arkaroola, which is up there. So we're going to go to Arkaroola and we're going to go into Blinman and off-road and then go up to Arkaroola village. But that's the I would probably say this is the start of the Flinders. We're fueled up at Hawker, which is probably 30 kilometres or so down the road here, and we might go to Blinman. We've been Blinman before, been to Arkaroola before. In fact, I think I've got another video on that, and we will maybe have lunch in Blinman. So that's Arkaroola, just up here, but we're not stopping there. Oh, there's a truck. Oh no, I thought it would be a road train. So that's Arkaroola in there. Now we've been there before. We're going to Blinman, which is pretty much directly across from, or the crossroad is from Arkaroola. So that's it there, Arkaroola, and then Blinman is in here. So we've decided to stop here and have lunch at Arkaroola rather than stop at Blinman. Well, we'll probably stop at Blinman, but we'll go in here and see the famous Prairie Hotel. So that's Arkaroola, that's the railhead there. Used to be used quite a lot. I don't know if it's used very much now. And there's a Prairie Hotel. Like I say, I've done a video on this when we were up here the last time. It had a lot of movies and stuff done up here. But this is just off the bitumen. And a big stopping point for people going to Lee Creek and up the Birdsville, really, because you keep going up this road here, up there, right up to Birdsville, Marie, Birdsville, Lyndhurst. There we go. So we've just pulled across from Arkaroola, and this is the start of the off-road stuff. So I'm just airing the tyres down. I think I did another video to set my deflators. So I'm going to put it down to 32 at the back because we've got weight, and 25 at the front. Because the tyres actually act as shock absorbers as well, just to take up a bit. But they're a bit noisy, aren't they? So I'm just going to stand back a bit. So like I say, 32 at the back, 25 at the front, and I think that will be okay until we get to Arkaroola, and then we'll see how the terrain is up there. But I think for off-roading, I think this is going to be more than enough. Okay, so we'll air down and then we'll get back on the road. So that's the gravel road sign. We're just finally doing this side down to the pressures, and then we'll go on the road. It doesn't take long. Like I say, I've got another video of setting these things. Like I say, I've got 4 different ones, and they're all set at different things. Obviously the other 2, I mean, I could have set them if I knew I was coming here. I could have set them for, say, 32 and 28 or something, or 25, something like that. But I've got them set 4 different things. But like I say, I've got another video on that. So we're just about there, and there's the sign saying warning gravel roads. But we're going to take our time. We've just had a lunch at Arkaroola, so we'll get on the road. But it's a beautiful day. I think it's probably up about 28 or 30 mark now. Boy, it's warming. And as you can see, I've got my fly swatter, and there's a lot of flies. Okay, see you shortly. So we're on the way to Blinman, about 17 to 20 kilometres down the road here. So we've aired down, and airing down just helps to absorb some of the rocks and the bumps, just assist the suspension. I think if it was bigger rocks you were going over, you would air down even more, and it's just to make a bigger tyre footprint on the ground, so you can get over the rocks without too many bumps. That's the idea, airing down. Now, I'm not going to go into detail about what pressures you're supposed to do. I might put something in the bottom which I think you should air down to, but there is a lot of different opinions on what you should air down to. But we'll see how the road is from Blinman to Arkaroola village, and if the rocks are bigger than this, because this is like shale kind of stuff. Not too bad going over the top. There's not any huge big rocks, one now and again, but nothing massive. So we're just like gliding over the top of them, and my wife's going about 65 kilometres over here. Like I say, we're not in a hurry, and you can go fast on these roads. Now we're still in 2-wheel drive. Again, I think I say that if you've got 4-wheel drive, why not use it? Because we're just running off the rear wheels and not off all 4s. But this is probably not really the kind of roads you could be using 4-wheel drive on. But if you've got it, use it. It's not really proven. People say, oh, you use more diesel and more fuel being in 4-wheel drive, but really I think there's things out there that would not say that you do. Like I say, if you've got it, use it. Why not? I'm not going to put it into 4-wheel drive permanent just now. I might do that, just suss out the road between Blinman and Arkaroola, which I think is about 115 kilometres approximately. Okay, so we're in Blenheim. I've just decided to air down to 28 in the rear, and I've just went about the same at the front, only because that road was a little bit corrugated. Tyres, you know, slightly hot, but not overly excessively hot. Now I'm running Toyo's open carry all terrains 275 70 R17s. So hopefully, now when I go, because Arkaroola is along that road there, and then you turn off, what I might do is like flick it into 4-wheel drive and just mosey along, because it's 150 kilometres and it's probably going to take us a little while, because that took us going 60-65 kilometres an hour. You know, that took us about 50 minutes, 45 minutes to get here. So it's going to take a while if we're going 60 k's to go 155 k's. So we'll air down. We're having a coffee. Coffee shop right there, and bakery. Pub's along here. Memorial Hall, toilets, tennis courts. Let's say out that road there is Arkaroola. Let's say out that road and then turn off. Okay, see you. Like an old house that's obviously been abandoned. I don't know what, when that was built and when it was abandoned, but wow, that's amazing. And obviously those stones are all around here. All around here. But beautiful, just at the side of the road. The road's over there to Arkaroola, which is about 85 kilometres. So we've just stopped for a cup of coffee, quick snacks. About I'll tell you exactly the time. It's 3:37 in the afternoon, so almost 20 to 4. Okay. This is us arriving at Arkaroola Wilderness Sanctuary. So that's been 212 kilometers or so from Blinman. So here we go. Never been here before, so this will be good. We'll have to find the reception area. So we've arrived at Arkaroola Sanctuary, Wilderness Sanctuary. So it's been a bit of a long drive, but it must be close to 5 o'clock when we left at 7 this morning. Now I know on the Google Maps it says it takes a lot longer than what it actually did, which is really good. So we're going to empty the car and then we're going to go for tea. So, and then we'll go on a little 4-wheel drive track tour tomorrow. Bye for now. So, Tuesday morning, we've loaded the car up, leaves us up some stuff we don't need. We are going to do the Mount Jacob backtrack. It is 13.6 kilometers in length, so it's about 10 o'clock here, so we're just about ready to go. So we'll have our lunch out as well. So yeah, looking forward to it. I watched I think it was Jared Smith who did the backtrack previously, and he did it again, revisited, I think was his terminology. And it looks, there's some roughened stuff, but what these guys here were suggesting, that you had to have a high lift on your vehicle, and there was a lot of big rocks and stuff going through the riverbed, but it really didn't look like that at all when I watched Jared's video on YouTube the other night. So he did it in 2018, so this is 2019. So I would have thought the amount of traffic going through there, they will have made it an adequate track to go through. So that's what we'll do this morning. What flies? Enjoy. So this is the ochre wall, as you can see. Now over yonder, you see the colour of the rock. So I'm walking through the riverbed just to get a bit of that. That looks fantastic. That would be millions of years old. And this is part of, and it goes all the way down obviously, all through the riverbed. That's a beautiful colour. Very unusual. Now obviously there's no water in the river because it's very, very dry. And that's the ochre wall. Beautiful. But we are heading towards, as I've said, the Mount Jacob backtrack, which is 6 kilometers just along this road here. Now we're at a little ruin here. This is called Lively's Find. This was a gold prospector way back in the day, and this is where the guy lived, and he must have done gold, looking for gold round about here. There's a creek running down here, there's a creek running down here. So obviously he was looking for gold. I hope he found some, because this would have been, you know, quite fierce. in the sun, and this is not the height of summer. Okay, livelies. This is a jasper called the Jasper Twins. Now I'm assuming that that's up here. We went up the hill and then got to go down this and meet that track again. But that's the Jasper Twins, and this is the road to Mount Jacob. Big craggy rock over there as well. Just to give you some view of the what we're in amongst here. And that's obviously the bumpy road we come up. That was quite bumpy coming up the top there. I just flicked it in at 4 low, and it just jumped all the way up. You know, not even 20 k's an hour. 15 k's probably just bounced straight up. Beautiful. It's a bit windy because I'm uphill here. You can see that rock there. It's quite volcanic. You know, that looks very volcanic across there. Huge rock. But like I say, that's what we're in amongst here. Beautiful stuff. Very different. Okay. So there might be a bit windy here, but this is called the Welcome Pound. So look at that, that looks absolutely fabulous. And we're going down here obviously. Absolutely terrific. Look at that. Yep, beautiful. Alright. Now I'm not sure if this is the start of the backtrack that we want. I'm really not sure, but I would think everything's pretty well, well, some of it's reasonably signposted, so we'll find out when we go. I think it's along here because I don't think we've come 6 kilometres. So this is the start of the Mount Jacob track. Well, 2.1 kilometres down here, 4-wheel drive only. The other road goes way up that hill. I think that goes round to the other 4-wheel drive track. Is it the Echo backtrack? I think it was. Not signposted at all where that goes, but this is where we're at here. So we're going to carry on down here and go through here until we find. So this is the start, right there to here, down here, the start of the Mount Jacob backtrack. The length of track is 11 kilometres, as you can read. So we've came in there, through there, that 2.1, some of that was pretty horrendous actually, going through the creeks and stuff. This looks a bit bouncy down here, but as I say, the guy on YouTube, I mean, he was scooting along nicely. So let's get on and get started. I'm not sure where it goes after here. Hold on.
Okay.
So this is on the back track, the Mount Jacob back track. A few bumpy bits, going through the riverbeds and stuff, but on the whole, this track is so well used, and because it's well used, I would have thought that the park would have repaired a lot of the really bad bits. But I suppose if the water is running, then it's going to wash out parts of the track. You know, as you can see there, that's all water damage. But I mean, if all the track was like this, it would be absolutely fantastic. But that, like I say, there is a few bits on it. I mean, I've not got any lift kits and stuff on this vehicle. I'm not sure if my good lady wife is enjoying this at all.
No, definitely not.
It's probably a little bit bumpy for her. But a few jagged bits of rock, a few washed out bits. But this is quite a good bit of the track here that we're on. So yeah. We'll be jumping through it on 4-wheel drive. Are you filming?
Yeah.
Okay, there's a little hill here. I expect it to be slightly rutted only because, now I've went into too low. We'll just jug her up. Just point her over there. The acceleration. Now there's a fantastic view. Now I don't know where this truck goes because you can't see it. Can't go want to be going over the edge. Now we'll just put her into downhill descent.
I don't know if you'll be able to use any of that.
What, downhill descent?
No, the footage that you just took.
Probably don't need downhill descent, but it's in there. That was a bit shaky on the camera there. So we'll flick that off now. Take our 4-wheel drive low and put her back into 4-wheel drive.
Going way up the top there.
Quite likely, yeah.
Okay, I've come up this hill, Gnome's down there just checking out the car. It's been a bit rough for me, I'm not enjoying this at all, but the view from up here is pretty good. I'm not sure if we're even halfway there.
Stopped here to take this. I think it's 3.5 back to Arkaroola village, but I just wanted to take that. The rock is like in diagonals all the way through there. That looks terrific. Look at the other side. Just diagonally through. Very unusual, never seen that before. And if you look right across, sorry about jiggling about because I'm walking, it just continues all the way through every single undulation. Fabulous. But like I say, we're 3.5 kilometres back to Arkaroola village, and the four-wheel drives are a little bit dusty there. Fans are on. It's 30 degrees today. 30. Quite hot, so we're drinking a lot of water. Okay, and there's the rest of the track up there, up and over the hill. 3.1. So that's the end, as it says there, of the Mount Jacob backtrack. 10 kilometres to Arkaroola. The other side of this says no entry because it's one way, just as well, because there's hardly any passing places on this track. And I think for a lot of times your nose is up in the air and you can't see over the crest of the hill. But anyway, that track had a little bit of everything really, with sand, shale, riverbeds, big boulders to cross. I probably would have taken slightly more of it, but my good lady West was hanging on. She didn't like it at all really, but I think it's always different driving because you're in control of everything. But when I used the 4 low hill descent, I was in permanent 4-wheel drive, and I've probably been in permanent 4-wheel drive since I left Blinman and went on to tracks up to Arkaroola. But like I say, that track wasn't that long, but had a lot of washouts. But it would have been great if it had been raining, because there's 2 long bits that you went through the river bed. That would have been terrific if you had the opportunity to go through it when I was watering it. But it's 30 degrees today, and it's been dry up here for some considerable time. Asked some of the people that was on working here, and they've not had rain up here for some considerable time. So yeah, so that's the road back to Arkaroola. So we're probably going to head back there and have lunch. I was going to stop halfway through the track, but my wife went, no, let's get off the track and have lunch. So that's what we'll do. We'll head back to Arkaroola. We'll have some lunch. I don't know what time it is now, because that didn't really take that long. It's just 6 minutes past 1, and we left, I don't know, it must have been about 10:30, and it was about 6.7 kilometres to the start of the track. So really it's not taking that long at all. Okay, bye. So this is the next morning. This is Wednesday morning. So we're going to see some of these, some of the waterholes, and in particular, which is 12 kilometres, is the Newland Dune Uludunana. Not the na at the end, it's na, waterhole, 12 kilometres. We might take in some of the other ones, the Bula Na Spring, 7 kilometres. So we're going to take in some of those. Today, that's not going to take us long. 12 kilometres up, we're probably going to have a cup of coffee, look around, take some photos, but there's not much water in that waterhole at all, which is slightly disappointing. But I was just going to show you that rock just up there, and when we was on the track yesterday, I explained about the rock, you know, having all that diagonal scores in it. That is very, very impressive. And that is at the Arkaroola campsite in the main accommodation area here. That is quite exquisite, really, when you see it. Okay, so we're just getting organised. So we've stopped off at the Pinnacles and Mawson Valley. Now that would be the Pinnacle. I don't know about Pinnacles, but that's fairly impressive, isn't it? Oh, that would be the other one over there. My wife is pointing at. And Mawson Valley. Now obviously there's a walk out here. We're going to be walking out to it, and there's a little map here. That's a good overview of the map, but the Pinnacles are up here in the corner, and it just gives you an overview of all the rest of the things that's there. But that's, I just slowly walk over it here, probably get a better view of it. Now somebody's got a path going through here to that one. Now it's 20 past 10 in the morning. It says on my thermometer in the car that it's 27 degrees, but it's a bit overcast today, it's a bit cloudy, just a slight breeze, which is great. Flies are out as usual. But that's it's fairly impressive rocks just on the little lonesome. Anyway, thought we'd stop and show you. So we've driven into Bula Spring along that road right there. But it says it's a kilometre. So obviously it must go all the way along the creek bed. But I just thought I would stop and look at that majestic rocks there. Now this would be fantastic when it is full of water. This would be something else. So we've just stopped for a drink and show you those rocks. But I would think it would go all the way along the creek. It's soft sand underfoot, but it's not clear where the track actually goes. But there's no way we've driven a kilometre in. I would have thought that it would go down here and along. But we're actually going to the other waterhole. But this, God, this would be a lovely camping spot, really, at this time of the year anyway. This is October 2019, so certainly dry. And after the wet season probably, but as I said maybe earlier, they haven't had rain for some considerable time, and the rain they did get was just hardly anything. That's how a lot of the water holes and stuff are dry, and I expect the one we're going to will be the same. Anyway, but the flies are quite prevalent. In fact, I'll turn around and I'll show you what I'm wearing. I've got one of these fly nets. Okay, bye. So we've stopped off at a smelter, Bola Balana smelter. I think it was, they were out here in 1870. Wow, 1870, way out in the middle of nowhere. Unbelievable. So there's a building, well, remnants of a building here. Over there, just through that scrub. I don't know how long they were out here for, but by chance this is a harsh kind of place to be. Rootings up there. Unbelievably quiet, and again surrounded by majestic rocks. On the left hand, you can have a cup of coffee, sitting way up on the hill there, just next to us. Unbelievably quiet. So this is at the top ruin. Now I would assume they would have dug out the stuff from here. I'm really not sure what that trench would be for. Because certainly a fairly substantial wall. It's very, very impressive. And again, in the background, there's a lot of rocks on the foot, so I've got to watch what I'm doing. The size of that steel. Huge. And the rocks in the background, again, they've got that diagonal shape going through them. But by Jones, there's a lot of flies. Okay. So this is the track to the water hole. This is actually a two-way track. The track yesterday was just one way, so the possibility of meeting someone on this would be reasonably high, although there's certainly not a lot of people up here at this time of the year. There's not a lot of passing places, as you can see. But it's fairly worn down with vehicles, but there is some bits that are, see, like this, that's probably you know, a lot of stones, a few riverbeds to go through. Nothing overly difficult, not as bad as yesterday. This would be well used, but a lot of jagged rock here, as you can see. But I'm in four-wheel drive, tyre pressure's down 28, as I've probably said before. We're not in any hurry, just take our time. And look at that, opens up to some quite really nice views. So we're at the waterhole. Now I'm going to let you read that because I'm not even going to pronounce it because I'll probably make a mistake. Now, waterhole, 200 metres. So my wife's going to have a little walk down here. I'm just going to take some pictures from some video from here, but that must be absolutely fabulous when it's raining. Obviously there's no water in it just now. But I'm sure there would probably be waterfalls and stuff as well off some of that rocks. But all round here is this type of grass. Now I think they call that spinifex, and it's spiky grass. And I don't think anything eats it. The kangaroos I don't think eat it. The camels, the horses I don't think eat it. So that's, I'm sure, classed as a weed. In certain places, possibly in the national parks and stuff, they're trying to eradicate that. But we've driven probably a kilometre around that road there, and it's all over that hill, all round there. It's absolutely everywhere, and it looks to me that it's all up there as well, down here, all across here. So that would be almost impossible to try and get rid of that. But I'm just going to come to the edge, see if you can see. Well, there's my wife down there with a little hairnet on, the fly net. But I'm not sure exactly. See, it might be, the waterhole might be around there. Maybe I'll just have a walk down. So this is the waterhole. Now, because they've not had enough rain, as you can see, the waterhole is just about gone. And there's so many skeletons from the rock wallabies that, because it's so stagnant, it's actually bad for them. But they still drink it, and then they end up dying, which is a bit of a shame. I'm going to have a look over here to see if there's another bit of water here. But as you can see, the rocks up behind it, I think there'd be lots and lots and lots of waterfalls come off there when it was raining. But they did say they haven't had water for some considerable time, and the water that they did get, the rain they did get, was not significant. So let's have a look over here. Nah, no water either, all but dried up. But this is a fairly wide riverbed. Look at those rocks, just falling there, tree on its little lonesome. But you can see the line. I would assume that's where the water had been. But this is just, look at the line in the rock. Been there for millions and millions of years. But the amount of, it's like being on a beach. Incredible. How big the, there's a rock wallaby there. How big this actually is. Let's say, no water anywhere. You know, up here, I think that'd be marks of water, waterfalls. But this is just full of these stones. Like I say, it's like being on a beach. And there must have been a vast amount of water coming through here to make these stones so small. But look at that. This is very, very impressive. Again, spinifex. Right in the middle of nowhere. Arkaroola. 13 k's up from Arkaroola. Northwest is this waterhole. Gee, this would be unbelievably impressive if that was like full. I mean, that's quite a gradient there, actually. Absolutely fabulous. God, I'm really glad I came to see this. But again, no water. And not any signs of getting any water. I mean, that must be 50 metres high. If not, maybe a bit more. Certainly 50 metres. Anyway, we'll make our way back to the car, have some water, because it is 27 today. A bit overcast, although I got a little bit of sun on my arm, which was a bit stingy, so I don't have any sunscreen on. Okay, let's make our way back there. What a shame. All the wallabies have died. But I suppose that's nature. Okay, let's go. Now this is on our way out of the water hole, right into the riverbed. Now this would be ultra impressive if it was if there was any water here at all. Now we're just at the other side of the riverbed, and it's funny because there's no indication markers in and there's no indication markers out, which is a bit of a surprise when you're doing river crossings, because when there's water obviously you cannot see the path where you're going. So normally they would have indication markers of where you're actually following it, because if this was full of water, well, maybe if it was full of water you wouldn't be doing it, because it would be obviously quite deep. This was a little bit of a higgledy-piggledy bit that had a little few skids. Not very easy going that way, but you see we're still in the riverbed. That would be the edge of the riverbed. But like I say, no indication markers at all. Okay, you can see the path, but you wouldn't know. Would you be looking for a path when you're coming up the riverbed? I probably doubt it. Anyway, that is going through the riverbed. Quite a rocky bit of the track. Found this coming down, but like I say, I'm in four-wheel drive. I'm in four-wheel drive high actually. Take it nice and slow. Just worried that there's too many sharp bits from the tyres, and that's just out of that really rocky bit. There's a lot of that on our track yesterday, probably slightly worse than that yesterday. And the track's mostly been like this, a few bumps and a few washouts. But we're not in a hurry. But I'm just conscious that this is a two-way track. and I don't have a sand flag on. Up here most of the tracks are one way.
Okay, we don't often see these. This is an echidna. I just came out, opened the door and I saw it wandering. Just like a little porcupine. I don't know. See, it stopped. It can sense me. Okay. It's okay, wee man. It's okay. Hello. Hello there. Hey. Fast it can run. We don't often see them. I've seen them now and again on the way home.
So heading out today. We're going to go out by Copley. I can't remember exactly how many kilometres that is, but it's at least 140, maybe 150 kilometres, something like that. But we'll pick up the road that we came in on and we'll pass that and we'll go straight to Copley. I was going to go out by Lyndhurst, but I just think the signposting wasn't all that fantastic to get out, because I was wanting to get in the Strzelecki for a little bit and come down to Lyndhurst and then come down to Copley. But you know what, I didn't really want to get lost on the last day. So I've checked the car. What time is it now? It's 9:04. So I've checked the car, all the levels, had a walk round, and I put on the wheel brace, a socket on the wheel nuts. So I've tightened. There was probably one or two slack on the front passenger wheel, but even that was insignificant. So I think we're loading the car now and we're going to head off. I'm going to hand the key in at 10. We're just filling flasks and stuff for coffees and waters and whatnots, and we're pretty much ready to rock and roll. Okay, bye for now.
See all the dust flying up behind them.
Some of the rocks on the way out, or the way in, on the main road into Arkaroola. Obviously we're on the way out. That is fairly significant, really. That's fantastic. Now, this would be the start of the Gammon Ranges, like a national park, that is. And that's the name of these. I'm not exactly sure of the pronunciation. And there's the map of where we actually are. So Arkaroola village is along that way, but we're going to Copley, which is this way. Gammon Ranges National Park. Might not see them too good. There's the billy goats, there's the goats up here. Now there's supposed to be loads and loads and loads of goats around here. Well, we've seen a few, but that's the goats. So we're 40 kilometres from Copley, and we're heading obviously on the way out. But this road is as smooth as silk. We've passed a few homesteads, so obviously there's trucks coming in and out of here. This is fairly, well, very, very smooth. Just left Copley, and that would be part of the Flinders. That's an unusual, like they've got bulges and stuff on the side of the rock. Very strange. But we're just about, I don't know, 15 k's out of Copley, heading south. So Port Augusta is 287 kilometres. But I think we'll go off this road and in by Clare, the way we came up. So this is the Friday, the 1st of November 2019. We came back yesterday, which was the 31st of October, and we didn't really take very much coming back. We stopped off at Copley, and in Copley we went to the coffee shop, had a coffee, had a little very light lunch, and coming down the road, probably half an hour on the outback highway between Lee Creek and Copley. This is what happened. Now, as you can see there, it's made a little bit of a mess of the car. We hit an emu. Yes, an emu, not a kangaroo. We see lots and lots of kangaroos here. We went to Alice Springs, there was loads of kangaroos. We live very close to them, and we come through the Mount Crawford forest, and there's loads of kangaroos there. But by James, we hit an emu. Came out of absolute nowhere, tried to swerve, and bang, hit it. Probably right here. Dented all this, dented all that, smashed all my plastic, and has displaced a few of the things. So this morning, I've spent the morning on the phone to the insurance company, and we are in consideration, not that I've seen anybody yet, of, you know, the cost of the repair. I might be able to fit a bull bar or a roo bar, because we're going to Seduna this month, but I'm not sure whether that'll happen now because of this. This might delay it, and we're going to go across Australia. Now I know the roo bars that I would like, but I've got no idea how much they cost. Like I say, all this plastic under here is dislodged as well. In fact, it's cracked up there, and there's a bigger gap here than there. See, there's been someone moving there, but anyway, whatever's happened. Luckily I didn't break the lights, and luckily in here, that's my secondary trans cooler, because I've got a video that I took it away from the bottom of the radiator, so that is there. There's an intercooler down there, but like I say, you know, there's a big bar right there, you know. So I checked all my hoses, they seemed alright, nothing leaking. I've lost a bit for there, but I might not need that, because if we're fitting a bull bar or a roo bar, they'll take that bit off. I don't know if it's split about here, I'm really not sure. They might cut along it. Anyway, whatever will be, will be. And if I've got to pay a little bit more, yeah, I'll pay a little bit more. But it's a fair old mess. Don't get carried away with this. This is WD-40. I always spray WD-40 because I just hate the grit in my locks and stuff. So it's very messy. But this is Friday lunchtime. My good lady wife is at the shop. She's got the other car away at the shops. So what we'll do is we will, I'm going to take this across to, there's a place in Gawler that has got the wash facilities. So I'll get rid of the majority of that there. But that put a little bit of a sour note to our Arkaroola trip, but that's just what can happen on Australian roads. Like I say, we were, I've not posted it up yet, but I'll post it when we went and did a road trip, 950 miles up and 950 miles back to Alice Springs, and I think there is more kangaroos at the side of the road now than I think there've ever been. But this was an emu. I'm kind of glad it wasn't a kangaroo, because that would have smashed out just about all of the front end if I'd hit it there. Like I say, it was outback highway, 110 kilometres, cruise control on. It's caught at the corner of my braked a little bit hard, got it down to probably, I don't know, 90 maybe slightly, I don't know, it's hard to say, but probably about 90, and hit it right there. I was almost in the middle of the road. I'm kind of glad I didn't hit it dead centre, because the airbag sensors are there, and that probably would have quite likely have put off the airbags, and if the airbags went off, we were probably in serious trouble. Okay, so that is the end of our Arkaroola trip. Hope you enjoyed. Bye.